So today on Project Shop, I have a bunch of these electric motors that I pulled out of that AC condenser job I did. And I want to try a couple different things breaking these down. One, I'm going to try to use the jaw to get these off. Now a lot of times you can bang these around and whatever, get these off. Sometimes they're a pain in the butt. So what we're going to do is put this up in the vise. I'm going to see if I can't use the spreader jaw. This is a combination spreader cutter. Hurst real deal jaws of life. Spread that open. I got some wrenches out here. We're going to take the screws off of this, open it up, see if they're copper, and then if it is, we have the plasma cutter set up. I have it on the 110 adapter. This is a multi-voltage machine that was sent to me by Best Arc, made in China, but hey, it was free. Someone did say in the comments that they used it like 10 times and it stopped working. Hopefully that's not the case. I've cut 1/2-inch steel plate with this thing for its little size and what it is. I was kind of impressed with it. So we'll use that to cut the stators out of the case, hopefully, if they're copper. And then what I'm going to do is I could set up the stator wrecker and pull the copper out, but I think what I'm going to do is try the air hammer. I did have a couple small electric motors in here that I couldn't fit in here, and I used the air hammer. I'm super impressed with that air hammer. I used that to do that, and I was splitting them small transformers in half with it, which I'll show you in an upcoming video, which was pretty cool. So for now, what I'm going to do is get one of these set up in the vise. Let's see if I can't get this in a position where we can see. Okay. We'll get this set up in the vise. And oh man, I wind up, I don't know if it was me or Steve, but I blew the bottom of my freaking vise out over here. You know, vices aren't really made to be smacked on with a hammer. I have been putting this vise through a lot of abuse over the years, but this is a Woden, made in England, not something that you can get anymore. So we're just going to loosen this with a 10mm. Now, I've had issues with these in the past. It's always been a problem. But we're going to see how the jaw does with it. Okay. Here we go. Oh! He does not want to give up the goose. Oh! Man, we actually bent the shaft. But it came right off. Now, I wonder if we're going to have problems. I wonder if that's going to cause problems down the road now that we bent the shaft. I should have rotated that around a little bit so we weren't putting all the pressure on one thing. Okay. Yeah, that's a unfortunate situation there. So I'm sure that can just be pounded out. Yeah. Cast aluminum. Then I'm going to consider that iron aluminum. I kind of want to save these bearings. I'm going to try to recover some of them. I have something I want to do with them. Let's check it. See if this is going to be copper or aluminum. And unfortunately, is half and half. Well, I don't know how much of that is actually copper, but I could tell by some of the shades of the coil. Better than using a grinder. Wow. So it's like 50-50 in there. I know that probably looks like all aluminum on camera. So let's see if we can't knock that out with the with an air chisel. Better bit. Oh, that's just breaking the coil. I think what I might do is actually, yeah, I like the Stator wrecker a lot better. Let's open up another one of these. We might just get them all open up and then oh, that's coming right off. Well, that was easy. Moment of truth. I think they should be required to state on the motor whether it's copper or aluminum. Because I feel like they're selling you the motors probably at the same price point. But with different, yeah, look at this. That's already different. See that? And I don't know, that's suspect. Okay, we got copper. This will probably be a two-parter or something, I don't know. Let's look at that So this one here, made in India. Now I forgot which one it was. Great. Oh yeah, the 29. This was the aluminum one. So if you ever come across these, where was this one made? This one doesn't even say. But the made in India ones, by the same company, are copper. So we're gonna look for some more of those. Same company, but made in Mexico, and it's got a different number. So we're just gonna have a we're just gonna have to go through them. Let's see. Oh, that one just came right off. Don't even need it. The jaw. Man, I've had some of these in the past where they just fight you. They say, not today, sucker. And I'm surprised because these ones came from the ocean. Okay. That's coming right apart. Well, I don't know. Made in Mexico. Did we get copper from Mexico? Heck yeah, we do. Okay. Now, when I cut these with a plasma cutter, I try to find where there's a gap. The other one had a gap right on the seam, but this one, there's like a gap over here. We'll cut that line. All right, we're gonna take a look at these. See, they're all different, man. Look at the size difference on that one. They look the same from the outside. Now this one's corroded. I guess you could use a sawzall or a grinder to do this. I'm going to use the grinder because I got it out. Okay. Oh, we should have checked. This one's made in Mexico, so it's promising. Okay. See, here's the problem, man. Now we have another one that looks like it's half copper, half aluminum. We're being robbed. And it's made in Mexico. Like that other one. Let's see what the difference is. So this is a HB32GR299. Oh. This is a 17 volt. This is a 18 volt or something. The only numbers that are different are over here. E18V RSSM. This is an I17V RSSM. Pretty much all the other numbers are the same. Okay, we're back on these motors, and I was taking a look at these, okay, and This is pretty much the difference here, this number. Okay, so we have this one made in Mexico, which is a 29 at the end, and then one of these, this is a 38, but made in Mexico. Now I already forgot. It's been a couple days since I messed with this. Which one was which? I can tell the 29 is the half aluminum, half copper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and break all these down, and then I'm going to keep one and kind of break up. I took this here and I just kind of pushed the copper to the side, and this wire, if you cut this wire, I guess I can just hit that with a razor blade, it actually comes apart relatively easy. So what we'll do is we'll get one all broke down and completely separated, and then we'll see if it's actually worth messing with, or if you should just sell it off as an electric motor. Okay, now I'm not sure. I don't really sell too many electric motors. I usually break them down. With the fan, I don't think they'll buy them like with, or they probably don't want them with the fan blades like this. So, you know, we're gonna pull them off. We'll weigh them as is, and then we'll get the broke down weight on them and see what they're worth. Also, you know, I was using the jaw to push them off. I think what I'm going to do is, because some of them were tight and didn't want to come off, I think I'm just going to cut the shaft with the plasma cutter. There we go. So, if they're not rusted, they come right off. Now, most of the time, the ones that really give you the problem are the squirrel fans. And this one here. Yeah, a lot of slag. Now what we're going to do is get the scale out. So we're going to call this one, we're going to get the, I'm just going to throw 4 screws in the bucket, or nuts. This one is Mexico 29, and we're going by the last number here. We're just going to call this Mexico 29. That is 8.37 pounds. This is Mexico 38. 7.82 pounds. Here's the other Mexico 38. 7.82. And this one is made in India, and that's a 42 on the last number. This is quite a bit heavier at 12.12 pounds. Now, what I'll do is we'll break these down, keep track of the pieces, and then what we'll do is see, I'll call and get a price on electric motors, and then the individual price, the cast, the aluminum, the steel. Now, sometimes I can get away with selling that as iron aluminum. That's kind of pushing it, but we'll try. Or it's got to go with the shred. Okay. See, that's what I'm worried about. The one that I cut making it through that. And that one looks kind of suspect. And it feels heavy. I think that's copper. And that is the Mexico 38. Which was that one lighter or heavier? That was actually, the Mexico 38 was lighter than the Mexico 29. Okay. Mexico 38. This is Mexico 38, so that's going to be the same. This is Mexico 29. Now this one we might have some issues getting apart. Different rotor. Okay. At least it came out. And that is it's funny, that's the Mexico 29 is the half aluminum, half copper. So the HB32GR229 made in Mexico. Yeah, half copper, half aluminum. I'm interested to see if this is actually going to be worth pulling apart. And then we have the India, which is quite a bit heavier. Okay. And this one looks to be all copper. So India's doing good. Okay, now we're going to get the plasma cutter back out here. That's got a big rotor. A lot less aluminum. These ones here, that's funny. That's the, look at the differences. A little more steel, probably the same amount of aluminum. This has got less steel, a little more aluminum. Interesting. Man, that's nice. I like that. Let me get some gloves. Okay, this is where we're at. We're kind of doing a side project real quick because I was going to cut them with the grinding disc, and then I'm like, man, I got a blade here. It's been sitting here for like 2 years. I don't have the actual steel that I want to use to build it, but I do have these plates that I can temporarily use to just get this thing in there and get it split in these stators, because not only do I have these, I have all these AC compressors over here. I'm probably going to cut up later today, and then I have 2 giant stators that I think I can use this to actually split. So what I'm going to do is I cut one of these in half, and I sprayed the marks, and I'm going to just weld them to here so that I can clamp this. The plasma cutter was kind of struggling with that 1/2-inch plate. We got a super rough cut, so I'm just going to face that down on the mill, make it smooth, and let me just make sure that flat. Now, I'm not sure if this cutter is going to work. I don't remember which cutter I had a problem with. I have a bunch of these big ones. We're just going to keep trying them all until we find one that works, or I'll have to go back to, I know this one, that's pretty much a brand new carbide, or I think that's high-speed steel. This carbide and this carbide is my best bits. And then there was a smaller, this one here. These 3 pieces are my best bits. I'd rather not use them for this. I'm just gonna see if I can't face it with this. Man, we're gonna try this fly cutter. Okay, here we go. Now I'm not gonna lie, I wind up getting these holes a 1/16 of an inch off down, unfortunately. So instead of using the huge bolts or bigger bolts, the 3/4 bolts. Basically, they're just there to hold this thing in place and squeeze it. All the force is getting pushed against this plate, which will get pushed against that, so it really doesn't matter. And this is just temporary. This is just me kind of wanting to get this thing going after having this blade for probably 3 years now. And this whole setup, like, I built this trolley here, or this carriage, probably 5 years ago. And I've only, with my homemade cracker down there, I cracked a couple motors, and I never split a stator. So we have all these, we have all them. I have some big stators outside. We need to get this thing split in. So what I'm going to do now is just weld this in place. I got it bolted kind of tight, and hopefully nothing walks around. I got it kind of centered. These plates are actually not the right size for this. They're a little loose in there. Unfortunately, we cut them, you know, like an 1/8 inch short or something like that. So we're just going to use them anyway and see how it goes. This is paint thinner. Pretty much evaporate away any There we go. Now she's laying some beads. I don't know what happened over here. I'm just gonna see if we can't cover that mistake up. Ooh, there must be something dirty in that metal. This gas machine really does not like any type of contaminants. That fan might have been blowing my gas away. Don't pretend like we didn't see that. Hit that with a little more. There was a lot of oil on this side too. See, that weld came out beautiful. That weld started out beautiful. And then I don't know what the heck happened there. There's some dirty stuff going on in there. We're gonna pull one bolt at a time. I kind of want to keep this clamped together so these things don't spread apart. Woo! Hot. Good thing about this welder, unlike the other one, you really don't have to stop and take a break. This thing has a big, like, intercooler fan. It very rarely kicks on. Oh, maybe we had a bad ground. Okay. Woo! Actually, you know what? Oh, I don't want to heat that blade up too much. That blade is like heat treated. We don't want to unheat treat it. She got warm. I don't think it got hot enough to mess with the temper, but okay. We're gonna let this cool down. I'm gonna go get the hydraulics. Let's see. Not bad. Not bad at all. That piece fits in there nice. I'll be able to get it in and out if we have to. I'm gonna have to we'll have to get it in there. There's paint sticking. All right, I'm gonna get the hydraulics set up. We're gonna raise this up, and what I think I'm gonna do is probably just clamp this up in there and then weld 2 bars on the side to hold it in place. And then, since this is the blade's gonna be this way, we got to put the things in sideways. See, this is not what I want it really. I need to make a plate that brings this down so that this blade is this way. It doesn't matter for these small ones, and this is just, you know, just a setup. I mean, who knows, I might be able to utilize this, keep this, and just modify it with a spacer on the other side. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna take a break and get hydrated real quick, and then we're gonna be splitting motors here soon. Okay, here's where we're at. I need to get this to slide up in here. Now, this is why I couldn't use this in the past. It actually needs to sit in here like this, but I don't have whatever I need right now. I'd have to make a custom spacer, and I just kind of want to get splitting over here. So I haven't figured out how I want to do the V. I might just take this square and cut down this side and cut down this side, and I don't know, or I might just take them and clamp them in here, because this is going to be this way. These are going to have to be put in there like that. I could literally put one in here like this, and then, you know, put the other one in there and just have them sit there like that. That's what I might do. And then this will just come down and split these in half. And what we'll do is we'll prep a bunch of these, split them in half, and then reset this up so that we can pull it with the puller. Ultimately, what I'd like to do is have this set up as like the cracker and splitter, and then have a whole nother machine set up for just pulling. But you know, we got to start somewhere. This one here is going to do everything, and one thing I'm going to have to do is shim this one way or the other. I'll probably shim it back and put some clamps to clamp this tight against here. I'm going to have to find a piece of steel I can put in there to take that gap up, because we don't want this thing doing this kind of stuff. And same thing up here. Bring this down a little bit. This thing has a pretty tight tolerance, but as you can see, the gap there and the gap here, this thing does move around a little bit. So we have to get all of this movement out of it, which I think I could just slide a thin sheet of sheet metal in there, and it'll take most of that away. I'm not worried about it doing this as much, but when that blade comes down, we want to make sure that it's coming down straight and you know, square. We don't want it coming down and like deflecting, you know. So what I'm going to do here is temporarily, I'm just going to take this square stock, cut 2 pieces. I'm going to clamp this up here. I'll probably put like maybe a piece of paper or 2 sheets of paper up there, clamp this up there, put them in there, just tack weld them, and then we'll have to shim this to one side or the other, because it can't be doing this. This thing's got to be solid. And what we'll do is we'll probably put a clamp on here just to tighten all this stuff up. Okay, there you have it. This is just temporary, but this is basically the concept. I'll be able to, there'll probably be a stop here. I'm probably going to weld a stop there. But the goal is to be able to have a pin, hold that in place, and quickly be able to change this out from the splitter to this cracker and other blades. So this is the cracker, and as you can see, this blade, this one I believe was like $700, and as you can see, it's much thicker and probably way harder. But I need to be able to slide this in, slide it out, change to the cracker, change to the splitter, change to a holder, change to another thing. There'll probably be 4 or 5 different jigs that I can throw in here really fast. It's going to be a quick change system. Literally just pull a pin, pull it out, but I got to get rid of this. This is why I never used these plates to begin with. Me and Steve were cutting them. We weren't paying attention, and you know, someone was rushing me, and we wind up with gaps because of the torch. But now that I have a milling machine, when I get another piece of steel, I need to get another plate. And I think I'm going to go with like 3/4 inch thick. You know, so because this has got to be held by some beefy stuff. And there's going to be a couple other upgrades I'm going to do to this. So I'm going to take lunch real quick. And then when I come back, I'm going to look for something to tighten up this gap. I think I found a piece of metal before that fits right in there. And then this one here, I'll probably just use some clamps and clamp this back so that this isn't going to do this. It really doesn't matter if it does this, but I can't have this doing this, you know. So, and I don't even think it's going to take that much. I think it's literally just going to push right through this stuff. I kind of want to try it out real quick. I'm going to have to lower this down. I'm going to have to lower it down to the next height, but we can get an idea of what's going to happen. We should be able to just, I got to get it square. Oh, see, we're not in the middle. Let me get a flat on the bottom there. See, something's already moving. Oh. All right, we ran out of stroke. The problem is this needs to be in a V so that it doesn't do what it just did right there. I wonder how far we were down on our stroke. I mean, it just collapsed that thing. Oh, we were way down. Way down. Let's grab a couple pieces of wood here. Ha! Yeah, we're gonna have to bring the machine way down, and we're gonna have to get okay, this thing was moving around a lot, and I don't want to break this blade. It actually pushed that blade way over here. So we got to pin that, we got to stop that from moving, and we definitely need a V, but look at that. It split that thing like butter. It started pushing in on that other one. Yeah, we're gonna definitely need something that's very parallel. These have to sit in there really straight. You don't want these things walking around or moving around. So we're gonna have to tighten all this up. But we'll do that after lunch. But as you can see, this is what we're going for. We need to be able to split these right in half. And the V is gonna hold these sides from mushrooming out like that. So hey, we're one step closer. Pretty soon, I'm gonna make the biggest blade like that you've ever seen. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dance before?